Right now, here we are planning to use Java database service, right, with the Java DB, right, in order to work with Java database service. Right now, under the services tab, right, if you are unable to find the services tab here, go to Windows and then you can click on services or Control 5 will give you services. Or else, if it is the layout is different, you can just click on Reset Windows, right, then it will rearrange the interface and it will open again, right. Then that would rearrange the interface. Right now, this is how you can see. Let me open a project, and we have to work with the new project anyway. Java application next. Right. Right now, you can see here under the services tab, you will see databases. Right. Under databases, you will see Java DB. Right now, in the Java DB, right now, in order to work with the Java DB, now you need to work with the Java database service. Right. Now, in order to do it, now the NetBeans here, it does not come with the Java DB version services. Therefore, we need to add separately. Therefore, in order to do that, I want you to search for Java DB, and there are different versions of it. Right now, you can search for Java DB. 10.2.2.0 release right now. You can search for Java DB, and then here you can see there are a lot of versions available. Like now in 2000 November 2003, like there'll be 10.17 version released. Here I'll be using 10.2.2.0, which is released on 2006, pretty old version, because in my computer I'll be working with NetBeans IDE 8.2. NetBeans 8.2 and Apache NetBeans, here this is 12, I guess, the version. Then I am using NetBeans Apache version and the previous version. Then the previous NetBeans version supports with Java 8, 1.8, and now we are working with JDK 17, right? Now, since I want to work with a compatible version for both, I'm going with 10.2.2.0 release. You may try with the 10.17.1.0 release if you wish, because here we are doing very basics, right? Therefore, it doesn't matter for me. The version I'm using little bit pretty depreciated version, right? 10.2.2.0 release. I'll be working, right? Then, in order to download this 10.2.2.0 release, you can just search for Java 10 DB 10.2.2.0 download. And then here you can search Apache Derby downloads. Then here you can find out 10.2.2.0. Right. And here this is the version I'll be using. You can work with the latest versions as well. It doesn't matter at all. Right. And here you can see there are several distributions available. You can see bin distribution, library distribution, debug distribution, SRC distribution likewise. Therefore, now here you can see in the bin distribution, it contains the documentation, Java doc, and Java files for Derby. Right. Therefore, it contains all the things. Right. Therefore, here I'll be downloading the bin distribution. Right. bin.zip. Therefore, please download this bin.zip zip file, and I'll be sharing the link with you via chat by just clicking on this. So I will send you this page version as well. You could try the latest versions as well. Right. Right. Then here, once you download it, you will get downloaded the folder. You quickly download this folder. And now, since if you are using Java 17 version, you would try this 10.16.1.1 as well version as well if you wish. Okay, let me try out this 10.16. Okay, I'm going to download this here, this 10.16.1.1 version. I have downloaded this one. No. Let's try it out. So download this bin file, which is 19 megabyte. Now, once you finish downloading, now go to the folder where you have downloaded it. Right, now I have downloaded this, and this is the folder dbdev 10.16.1.1. I'm going to extract this. Right now, then you can see this is the file folder. Previous, this is a zip file. This is the folder which I have downloaded. Right. Right now, this if you open this, you can see here inside this, you will be able to see the files. Right. Therefore, now what I'm going to do is here. Right now, I'm going to take a copy of now this folder. Right. Then I'm going to take a copy of. I'm going to take a copy of this folder and I'm going to place it where I have installed Java. It doesn't matter the location. Just remember the location where you're going to place this. I'm going to place this inside the program files Java because it's easier for me. And db now 10 point. Now I'm going to paste it. File folder controllers. Inside Java. Here. It is moving previous. It is moving. Right. This is the version I have downloaded for Java 17 and higher release because I'm using the Java. I'm using Java 3 version is Java 3 version JVC 17, JDK 17. Java 17, yeah, for Java 17 and higher, I could try 10.16.1.1. Right. Okay, then we have copied this into the Java folder as well. It is not, is it? Why is not? Right. Okay. Now only it will come. Right. Okay. Here I have this folder now. Right. Done. Then go to the services tab. In NetBeans, go to the services tab. Right click on the Java DB. Go to properties. And now here you in your computer this would be blank. Then go to the browse folder in front of Java DB installation. Right now, then select the folder. Now I am going to select 10.16.1.1b, the one I have downloaded. The previous 2.2.0 also they are here. Previously I have copied. Right, db 10.16.1.1. Provide the database installation folder and the database location. You can have any folder where you want to store the databases. Right now, any folder, name any folder and then save it. Right. And then click OK. Right. What you have to do, right click on the Java DB. Under the Java DB installation, browse the place where you have copied this downloaded DB folder and then select the bin file and then provide the location to save the databases. Any place, it doesn't matter. And then right click on the Java database and select start server. Right. Right now, what does it says? The WDR network service control has been compiled by a more recent version of the Java runtime. Okay, here in mine it does not support. Right, let me change it to the backward 10.15. Let's try out. Even the NetBeans does not support for that one. Therefore, it's better to go for the 10.2.2.0. Right. Yes, therefore, as I said at the beginning, let's work with the 10.2.2.0 versions. Yeah, without any issue, it would work. Yes. Right. Okay. Now we are working with Java 10.2.2.0 version. Right. That means here now I have in the program files, I have only 10.2.2.0 version. Right. I'm using 10.2.2.0, which I have already shared the link. Therefore, if you have not downloaded, please go to this folder location and then go for 10.2.2.0 and then download from here the bin file. This is the location. Right. Therefore, if you are using SQL or any other database services, it doesn't matter at all. Therefore, you could easily work with that. Right. Okay. Right. Quickly download and copy the folder. Download the folder, extract it, and thereafter we can work with the place where you have kept this. Right. Okay, then once you're done, is that all? Have you all done it? Chamodi, Shatuni, Hemaka, is there anyone who is doing it, or have you all completed? Is there anyone who is doing it? Let me know quickly before I continue. Who is doing it? Okay, if you are doing it, you are the one who said say yes. Have you done it? Then yes or no. Have you done it? Hope you have started the Java database service now. And if you have started the service, right, you can click on create database by clicking on this under services tab databases Java DB, right click, select create database, and you can provide a database name. I'm gonna display student DB. And you need to provide a username and a password. I'm gonna provide the username as app, password as 123. Remember the username and passwords if you are moving this database into another computer, right? Username and the password and create. And a little while it will create a connection here. And once you get this, right click and select connect. Okay, do it. Then once you expand this, you will, based on the username you have provided, you will see a schema. And under that you will see the tables. Nothing, because no tables we declared it. Right, now we have made the database. And inside the database, now we can create the tables. Right, let's create a table. I'm going to create a table. There are two ways of doing this. Either you could, if you are good in SQL, you can click on execute command and you can run the SQL, right? Or else you can go to right click and select create table. Right, you can do either way, either using SQL or you can use the create table option. Now for the first table, I'll be using the create table option and provide the table name. Right click on the table, select create table, and I'm going to say user data, user table, users table, users, right? Okay, users. I'm going to create a table called users, and then I'm going to have the add column in order to add a field. I'm going to have it as username, and the data type I'm going to store in the username is variable char. Since I'm using variable char, it has to be a defined size. I'm going to say username up to 10 characters. And I'm going to set it as a primary key. Therefore, this cannot be duplicated. Therefore, unique will automatically get activated. And click OK. And I'm going to need to have the password. Password also I'm allowing any text and alphanumerical values. Therefore, varchar. I'm going to set up to 10 characters. Size is going to be 10. And then it cannot be null. And password cannot be null. Okay. I'm going to remove the null as well. Then size 10. Right. Okay. I have username and password fields. Data types are variable characters. Size 10 each. Then click OK. Then that would create a table called users. The username and the password field. How you did it? You just right click on the table, select create table, type the table name using add column. You add the column name and you select the data type as varchar. And for the first one, you set the primary key and you set the size as 10. Both username and password, we set the size as 10. See, varchar size as 10. First one, you set the username as the primary key. Okay, create the table quickly. Right. Then right click on the table. Here select view data. Then here when you right click and view data, you will get an error because of this fetch first 100 rows only command. Remove that. Then if your table name is users, no, even though if you type select all from users, you will be able to see the values from the users table. Select all from users. Right. In order to add the values, you can click on this insert record button here, and then you could add the values. Right. Now let's add the values, a few values. I'm gonna provide username app. Sorry, username. Let's say admin. Password is ABC 123. Right. Test 123. User ABC user. Right. I'm gonna add few. I'm gonna add 3 records only. Right. I have added 3 records for the user. Right. Now, we have done this previous week. No, I'm gonna change that. What was that project? Okay, add the records for the database quickly. Let me figure out the project. Open project 6. How this works? Instead of U4 user registration. Okay, then in the save button, go to the login geo. Okay, from here it goes. Right. Then, okay, what I'm going to do is here for the new GUI, Right now, if we go back to the previous day, right, we had the day, login interface here. Right now, for this login interface, we had a list, and using the list, we have worked with the list. Right. Therefore, what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to check this with the database connector. Therefore, now no longer I require user registration form at this point. Right. Then we will use this one separately. Right. In order to put the values into the database. Therefore, now you can open the previous week work. Now, I hope you have done this and you have the designs and everything with you. Right. Okay. It's a continuation. Right. Then, right. Now, what is this new JFrame? That is a different one, no? Okay, from the login, what we have opened, if it is correct, calculate. Right, the student form is what? All right, student object we have here. Right. Okay, we try to connect these right together. Right. Okay. Then, okay. Do you have the previous project with you, or you want me to create a new project? What do you think? Do you have the previous project with you? Hello. Do you have the previous week project with you? I'm going to create a project called sign in, and where I want you to create the username and password. All right, you need to create this. Right, right now I have taken use a JText field, two labels, and one text field and one password field, login and cancel. Right. Now what I'm going to do here is like when I log in, and I'm going to have another button as well. New add new views. Once you log in, we'll do it. Right. Right. And then I'm going to add a new JFrame for main GUI. And there I'm going to say, then the user details I'm going to display. Here I'm going to say user details. User details, and right now I'm going to have username and password. Right, just okay. This is not a way of doing this. I'm just allowing you to change the username and password. But password is just a text field. Like now, I'm just treating it as a password. Then you should have a different way of achieving this. Right now, okay. Let's say now first we'll do this login to the student database, and then we have another one called a button called add users. Add user and delete user. Remove user. Right. Okay, we'll do it in here. Another panel. Right. Text field and a password field. Right now, I have two fields: add new user and remove user. Right now, and thereafter, we can have this field, and then we can have the user management. Right. Right now we have the let me change this into another name. User management. Refactor rename. User manage GUI. Right. And I'm gonna have another one for main GUI. There you have two buttons, manage users and manage students. Now here there's a label, right? Okay, now first of all, what I want to do is when user has to log in using this sign in UI. When user click on enter the username and password correctly from the database saved ones, you just need to compare and then pass. And then if it is correct username and password, it has to go to the main GUI. Main GUI should display the username. And then you have two options, manage users, manage students. Manage students have not prepared yet. When you click on manage users should load user manage GUI where you can add new users and then remove users. Right. Right now, I'm not going to list the users here and then I'm going to list the students there. Right. Then let's complete the code first. Right. Then when it comes to the sign in GUI, when user enters sign in GUI, right. The user enters the username and password and when you click on the login button. Right. Now, here the clear button is already there. That is to clear the text field 1 and the password field 1. Text field 1 and password field 1. And again to request the focus when you click on the clear button. Right. Now thereafter, when you click on the button 1, which is button 1 is this one. When you click on the button 1, it takes you to here. Then UN folder gets UN variable gets the text field 1 username. Password field get the text password field password. Right. Now we are trying to make the connection with the database. Therefore, now this might throw sometimes when you're trying to connect with the outside service now, the database may be available, may not. Therefore, it might throw an error. Therefore, Java, when you're trying to do connect with the database or something, Java asks you to do it inside the safe code, safe package. For that, we need to use try catch. Right. We will be talking about Java exception handling in the coming weeks. Therefore, now, since this might throw an exception, we need to put that inside the try catch block. All the codes you suspect that which may throw an error, you need to put inside the try block. And if there's an error, it's going to handle by this particular handler catch clause. Then you need to type the type of the exception it can catch. Now, since it might throw any type of exception, I'm going to use a super class of the exception, which is the exception. And if there's an exception has been handled, quote, I'm going to display the what it has thrown, what it has handled. Now, I'm going to display to the console what has been, what was the error. The dot get message. If there's an exception has been thrown, that means that exception might handle by this exception handler, and thereafter, then it will come to here. Then I'm going to display what it has thrown. Right now, we need to make the connection to the database. Therefore, we need to create a connection object. Right now, in order to get the connection object, you have to type connection, and then here from the java.sql, you need to get the connection. This is the connection. This is a session with a specific database. SQL statements are executed and results are returned within the context of connection. Therefore, connection object, take a connection object, right? And then using the driver manager, get the connection. Then driver manager is SQL. this basic service of managing a set of JDBC drivers. Therefore, use the JD driver manager from java.sql and driver manager.get connection. Like we need to get the connection. Right now, we know to get the connection. Now we need to pass the URL, username, and the password. Then URL of the database connection is, if you go to the services tab, they are under Java DB. If you right click on the Java DB, you can see here we have set the installation and everything now, right? Installation folder. And then once we create the database, we got this connection, and then click on the connection. There you will see the database URL. Therefore, click on this database URL and take a copy of this database URL. This is the database URL. Right, we are using student DB now. That is the database URL. Right, then inside the double quotes, right, provide the URL. And the username I have used as app. And the password, I think I have used the 123. Provide the username and the password which you have entered by the time you create the database search. Connection.drivermanager.get connection. Right. Thereafter, we need to execute a SQL statement. Therefore, we need to get the statement object. Statement create the statement object and from the Java SQL. Right. Then you need to get the statement object created, statement from java.sql, not from java.beans. Statement stmt is equals to from the connection dot create statement. Right. And we need to have the statement to be executed. Right. What is the statement? I want to retrieve all the data. Right now, at the time we create in this database, we have used select all from users. This is the command I have used to retrieve these values to select all from users. Therefore, here I'm gonna create a query string qry is equals to, I need to execute this. Then this would return table of values. Now, when I type select all from users, this would return this table containing usernames and the passwords of the users. Right. Right. Then write a string query. Right. Now, where to store this query values? Once values are returned, where to return? Where to store? Therefore, that purpose, we have to use the result set object. Now, there is an object called result set. Result set. A table of data representing a database result set, which is usually generated by executing a statement that queries the database. Right now, that's what we're going to do. Result set object rs equals from the statement object dot execute the query. I'm going to execute the query. The query we have just wrote. Over here, we can just type, rather than doing this, we could have this here. Right. Thereafter, using a while loop, just display the values, whether we got it or not, in order to check. Now the result set object has a method called next, right? Result set has a method called next. What happens here is the result set initially positioned at the one index before the actual value. Therefore, if it is like now, it is positioned at -1 index at the beginning. And when you click on the next, it will move to the next position. And again, it will return true or false value, whether based on there's a value one. If there's a record in the next row, it will return true. Therefore, using the next method, we could go to the next. That means once we are at the end of the table, the result set dot next method will return false, saying we are at the last row. Therefore, I am going to do it using rs dot next. And each time here now I'm gonna display for the time being. I'm gonna display. Let's say I'm gonna get the username u that is taken from result set dot get. We have a string value now. Using the column label or the column index, we could try out. Let's get the column index. I think 0 and 1. Let's figure it out. If you want, you can pass it to the column index as well. Then if you are using the index name, username, and the column label, rather pass in the index password. String p. Okay, let's display for the time being username and the passwords. Well. Right, now let's run it and see whether what's going to happen if you run this one. Now you can see, right, okay, it gets loaded. Now by typing something and I'm going to click login. Now here it has thrown an error. That means what? The no suitable driver found. That's an error. No suitable driver found. Because of that, now we need to provide the Java Devi client driver for this. Therefore, you need to again search for it, matching Java Devi client repository, Maven dependency for the respective version. Right. Therefore, again, I'm going to Google it for 10.2.2.0. Right. I'm going to Google it for the Derby client Maven dependency for the 10.2.2.0. Right now, this is the Maven dependency for 10.2.2.0. Right. And then take a copy of this Apache Derby client JDBC driver. The version we are using for the DB is 10.2.2.0. Therefore, take a copy of this dependency, right? Let me send it to our chat to everyone. And I will send you the link as well, the website link via chat transfer, right? Okay, then take a copy of this dependency. Go to your NetBeans project. Right now, there's a special file in this project folder under the project pom.xml. Then open the pom.xml file. Now, this is where you have the dependencies and everything, right? Under the properties, right? Under the properties, add a dependency. Right now, right at the dependencies. Dependencies and close the dependencies. And add the dependency, right? We just need to do this. add and open dependencies tab, and then copy. This is what you have copied, paste, and you just have to type these two. And in this you have to copy paste. Right. And thereafter you could run this. Now when you type something and if you click login, right now you can see it displays the usernames we have. Right. It shows the usernames and the password. That means it has been connected to the database. Right. We are done. Right. Okay. So far what we have done is you have opened the pom.xml file from the project. Under the project, open the pom.xml file, and before the properties, open the dependencies tab, right, and close the dependencies. Inside the dependencies, copy and paste what you have copied from this site, from the Maven repository. Now this is how we provide the Java Derby client version. Now this is the Derby client, that is the driver. Right, once you do that, that's it. This would work. We can access the usernames and the passwords. Now it's a matter of checking. Now how to check whether the username and password is matching. Right now, in order to do that, I'll be using the previous week code what I have used. What we checked. Right. I easily do this. Right now, once you take the username and password, right now what you can do is we need to check whether the username and password is matching. Right, then we'll have it. Boolean flag. And then we can check whether if un dot if u dot d equals ignore case un, and p dot equals dw, if it is matching, what we need to do, if it is matching, we can set the flag equals true and break. We can set the flag is equals to true and break. Flag is equals to true and the break. After the while loop is finished, you can say if flag. If it is true, what you want to do? What you want to do? And right now we have previously mentioned that access granted. Last week what we have used, if flag is equals to true, access granted, welcome, we have displayed. And then, right, if it is invalid username or password, then you're going to display error. Right. Then this has to be inside the try block. Right. Then, right, I want to open this user manage GUI, okay, main GUI. Therefore, in order to open the main GUI, let me get back to the source and I'm gonna overload this with a string username and I'm gonna set this label 1 JLabel1 dot set text. I'm gonna display user and I'm going to display the username. Right. Therefore, now I need to open this one. Right. Then I want to open if it is access granted. Here I need to display new main GUI and then this dot set is equal to. Right. Okay. This is what I did now. Okay. Try out. Check whether is there any errors, whether I have missed anything. Now let's see what's gonna happen now when you run this. Right now we don't need to display the usernames and passwords. No, therefore let's remove that part. Let's close this and run again. By now, when user types admin, you can't remember the password which I have typed. Can anyone remember the password which we entered for the admin? Admin name is 123. Okay, wrong password ABC456. Login, it says invalid username or password and states ABC123. Access granted, and then it displays the other frame, but the JLabel one has not been set. Right now, let's see why this has not set. Right. Okay. I think that's because of we have not passed it. Yes. New main GUI, we have not passed the username. Right. Then we need to pass the username you. What we gonna pass? You're gonna pass the username UN. And also when user enters a wrong password, I want to clear this. Therefore, in order to clear this, the clear part happens in the button 2 action performed event. Therefore, I'm gonna call that as well. Right, now let's run it and see. Right now, this is the interface. When you type admin, ABC123, and when you click login, access granted, then it opens the interface and it says user admin, manage users and manage student. This displays. Right now, we can't do anything because we haven't done anything yet. Therefore, what we have done is here right now in the main GUI, we have just copied the constructor and then we have changed overloaded with the username variable, and we have set the label under set text as user and the whatever variable we are passing here. And here we have passed it. That's what we did. Here we have passed the username. That's how we did it. Right. Okay, now this is how you get the user. Right now, now this is how we add the check the login data. Right now, once user, if the user selects, login GUI, that means if the user from here, if the user selects to manage users, let's say I want to pass this username also into here, right into this database and this form as well. Right now, let me drag this little while. And here also I'm going to set the text label. Right. Right now here I want to pass this one right now. Let's say here in the user manage UI. Again, I'm gonna overload this. Sorry. With the variable, and then we need to call this. If user click on this manage users button, therefore double click on the manage users button. Here right now we need to call this. Now in order to make this visible true, Right now, we need to make sure this variable value we are getting here has to pass into here. Therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to create a variable username, and we're going to declare a global variable called username, and then here we're going to assign the username variable is equals to UA. Now this parameter value to this variable username, here we can pass the username. Right. Now we can pass the username. Right. Thereafter, now we are done with this. Now we can do the same thing here in the main GUI as well. Right. After setting this, the label value is label 4. Therefore, JLabel 4 dot set text is used. Right. Right now we are done with that part as well. Right now, when user logged in, when user clicks on this, right now we need to manage users. Right now, and one more thing we have to do. And when you add the main this interface, if you click on this, if you close this, nothing to close. If you just to close this only, in that purpose, we could do it like click on this form and go to the properties and then change the properties into exit and close into dispose. Now, if you close it, only this get closed. Right. Okay, now let's run it and see the sign in GUI how it's gonna work. Now, when user click on sign in, you get this, and then if user types admin ABC123, it says access granted. Now, user will get to see this interface, manage users, and manage students. Manage student does nothing. When you click the manage users, it will open this, and then again user admin would display the. And if this get closed, the program will not get closed. It would be staying here. And then here you have the user management. Here also we'll have a title called manage use main window or something. Right. Right. Now this is what you have. Now what I want to do is when I type something here and I click on the add user button, add a record to the database. And when I type a username here and when I search, when I click on remove, if the username is available, it has to be removed. That's what I want to do. Right. Right. Then here, let's say we'll do some design part for the main GUI. And for this form, title main GUI. Right. When it comes to sign in GUI, also we'll have a title. Right. Now we are done with this. Now, sign in GUI done, main GUI, we have done this part now, our user manage. Right. Now, once you add this one, now we know to add a user. Right now, we need to figure out what user has entered here. When user click on this add user button, we need to take what user has entered from the username field and this password, and then insert into the database. Right. Therefore, click on the first do the clear button part. Do the clear button part. I'm gonna, this is again from the properties you can figure out text field 1 and the password field 1. Therefore, here I'm gonna clear these two. J text field 1, J password field 1, I'm gonna clear. Right. Then, when you click on the add user button, right, we need to take what user has entered here. Right. With that, right now, when you click on the add button, here what you need to do is we need to take what user has entered. Right. Then that is taken from username. So this is the text field 1, is the password field 1. Okay. Now we need to add that into the database. Therefore, first we need to make sure the connection is there. Right. Therefore, you can copy this code and thereafter we'll remove the unnecessary parts. Right. Right. Then we don't need to create the connection, and then we don't need to have a result set object. We don't need to have a while loop here. Right now, and we may have to pass a message if it is updated correctly in order to display this. Right. Then we need to create the statement object. Right. Then we need to think of how to insert the values. Therefore, I want you to search on the web W3 Schools website. Search for W3 School site SQL and learn the insert into. In W3 School SQL, search for W3 School SQL, and here find out the insert into query. How to write the insert into query. Right, now read this part and how to write the insert into queries. Now that's what we need to think now. How to add the values to the database. Right, now I will show you how to use a prepared statement as well. Okay, then, right, we have to get the connection. Let's create a prepared statement. Then you have to find out what's the difference between a statement and a prepared statement. Prepared statement, that object represents a pre-compiled SQL statement. Now here this is going to be a pre-compiled and stored in a prepared statement object. Right. Prepared statement object called PST equals, right now I'm going to pre-compile statement I'm going to use using the connection object, connection dot prepare statement. You need to pass the SQL statement. Right. How to do that? Insert. Okay, inside the double quotes here type now. Insert into table name. Insert into users Insert into users. Insert into users. Variable. Okay. Text columns names, username, and the password. Insert into username and the password. Insert into username and password. Values. Values. There will be two values which I have to pass. Question mark and question. Right. And then I need to set this parameter that string for the parameter 1. For the parameter index 1, I need to pass the username. And for the parameter 2, I need to pass the password. Parameter 2, I need to pass the password. Rather doing this, we would have done it at the same point. Let's do it. Now you know how to do that because we have tried several times this. Right, and then we need to execute prepare statement dot execute update, because execute update, which must be in SQL data manipulation language, such as for insert, update, or delete. If you are using insert, update, delete, we could use execute update. If it is SQL query, execute query, that is to which will return a result. If it is using execute query, that would return a result. Now I don't need to return anything. Now execute update. est.execute update, and then we could display new views added. Title info. Message type is 1. Is it? When you enter a correct username, 1. Yes. User, new user. Right. And then I want to clear this afterwards. Then we can call the button tree action performed here. Right. Now let's run it and see what happens. If you type Jane and 1, 2, 3. If you type Jane and 1, 2, 3, new user record added. Clear. Right. Now done. Let's get back to our database and then check whether it has been added. Yes, Jane 1, 2, 3 has been added. Now you can log in user that as well. Right. This is how we're going to add a new user. Right now, this time we're going to use a prepared statement. You try out by yourself as well. And thereafter delete. In order to check the delete one, I want to, you can use the same thing. But now from the W3 SQL site, search for, from here, search for the delete, SQL delete. Search for delete, how to delete. When you have given the username, how to delete. Like now this query, try out this query. Search and try to find, try to use this one. If user has deleted, right now you can say Right, you just try to edit the same code. Right now, we'll do some small changes for this one. Just rather deleting here. Search. We'll have a search. We'll have a label. If you have search, right. If you want, okay, no need of search. When you click on search, we're gonna say that user found. You want to delete, right? If it is not, we're gonna say that that has not found. That's what we're gonna do. Right, this is what you want to do. Right, I want you to user to type the username. If user type username, when you click remove, you need to search and then display message saying, okay, user found. You want to confirm delete. If user say yes, you need to delete the user from the database and display message username, the user details removed from the database. Right, that's how it should work. Right, try. You can copy the same code and only one query might change. And one confirm message dialog box option, J option pane, show confirm message dialog will appear in order to get the user confirmation, whether user wants to delete it or not. Try out quickly. Right. Then delete part. Right now, let's see how to get this thing done. When you click on remove. When you click on remove first, yes. What else we have? We have clear. Okay, let's write the clear first. What was the text field? Name is text field 2. Right. Text field 2 dot set text. When you click on the clear button, right, we need to clear the text field 2 dot set text clear. Text field 2 dot request focus. Right. Now done. And when you want to search first, when you click on this, okay, first we need to get the connection. Mm, we can delete directly if it is available, if it is matching record found. It's not nice to delete like this, no? We'll do a small change. When you select username and then you search for it, okay, we'll do a small modification to do this part, right? And we'll do it like this. When user wants to delete it, okay, we have a table. We have a table where we're gonna display all the values, and then we'll have a search as well. We'll have a text field to search. When user click on search, according to that, it should display the values in this one. And when you click on a value from here, it should display usernames and passwords fields. Okay, when you click on here, only display the username. Huh? We are not going to allow edit, and then you can click on remove, then it will get cleared. Right. That's how it will work. And here I'm going to display only the usernames. Okay, add the table and see how to do this. Okay, add the design, do the design changes. Now, when you run this application, Okay, then we'll do this by loading the values to this table first. Now only the usernames I'm going to display, right? Mm, okay, that is not much big one. Right. Okay, then go to the source and load table or something we'll have. We'll declare a method called load table, and we need to call this load table method in both scenarios at the beginning. Right, now how are we going to do this? Here again, I'm going to get this code copied. And here, right, actually from this we can get no from signing results and dot. Right, then okay, we need to get the query. Right, Boolean tag is not required. And then we need to have a default table model this time. A default table model. Default table model equals JTable1 dot get model. Now we have to convert that into default, cast that into default table. Right. Then we have done that part. Thereafter, until while rs.next, we'll create a vector. We don't need a vector actually. We can load the values. Only usernames we're going to display, no? Okay, for the time being, if you want to display both username and password, right, we'll see how to do that. We're going to create a vector. Vector v equals new vector. And then we're going to add g.add results at dot get string. I'm going to go with the column index, first column index. And the second column index, username and the password. I'm going to get. And I'm going to add that into the table model. DTM dot default table model dot type row. Right. Type row v. Okay, then thereafter we are done with this, and after this we can set into JTable1 dot set model DTA. Right. Okay, then afterwards now we have done this change now default table model we have set. Right. Then from this table contents, and then columns, you can set it as title, username, password, and title page delete, title for delete. Right. Okay, let's try this one and see how it works. Let's see how it's gonna get loads the values. Right, then this is how it's gonna load the values, username and the password. Right, now what I'm gonna show you is what we did was here in the design, we have at the table, and then from the table contents, from the user specified, we have at the two columns, username and the password, and we have set the column values, username and the password, right? If you want, you can set it as username. Username and the password, you will set it, and rest of the columns we have deleted. And these are the two columns we have. And then here, what we did was we have made the connection to the database, and then we have created a statement object, and then we have created a result set object by executing the query select all from users, and then we have used the default table model in order to get the values to the table. In order to add the values to the table one, we have to get the default table model object to locally add the values, and using the while loop, we have created inside the while loop we have created a vector. And what is a vector right now? What is a vector? And then delete query we have to write. Yes, what is a vector? Yes, what is a vector? What is a vector? Yes, tell me. We have to find the delete query. Anyone? Vector. And search query. Select query. What is a Java vector? It's also part of a collections framework, which we're going to discuss next week. Right now, this also provides dynamic array implementation with the list interface. Like now, we have to discuss about the list next week, array lists and so on. Thereafter, we'll discuss the vector as well. Now, it's a dynamic array implementation, and then the dynamically it will arrange the automatically it will adjust the sizes. Right, then we have at the columns to the vector, and then at the each iteration we have add that into the default table model. Finally, after the end of the while loop, we have loaded this table one model as the default table model. Right now, that's how we did it. Right now, what I want to do is right now when user click on the record from here, when user click on a record from here, when user clicks on a record from here, that I want you to load the username on into. Right now, if you want to only display the username, let's say if you want to only display the username, right? We don't need to do this part, right? We don't need to add the password field, and then here we don't need to have the table contents and columns, and then we don't need this password field, right? Then if you run this, then you will have only the usernames would be displayed. Right, then again the usernames also, right, then without the vector also, can you edit? Yes, you can edit. Then we could get this result set dot get string. We could add directly this. Right now, what is the error here? No suitable methods for add string dtm dot add pro what it requires. Let's see. we need to pass an object or a vector. Yes, we need to pass an object or a vector. Therefore, yes, we need to write the object. It's easier to pass it as a vector. Leave it. Right. Okay, now only the username we're going to pass. Right. Now the next thing is what I'm going to do is search. Okay, when I click on, okay, the next thing is when I click on this a value from this table, I need to load the value into this text field, which 2. I need to value the, when I select a row, then I need to set it into the text field 2. Therefore, here, click on the table, find the events, mouse clicked. Click on the table and click mouse clicked. And when you click on the mouse, we need to get selected row. Integer row ID is equals to J table 1. J table 1 dot get selected row. That would return an integer value. Get selected row. And then again using the table model, we can get the table model. Table model Java extending that model J table model TM is equals to J table 1 dot get model, right. Thereafter we can set into the text field 2 J text field 2 dot set text, the value taken from table model dot get value at the row index, which is the row ID, and the column index. We have only one column, therefore 0. And yes, we need to make it as a toString. Yes, dot toString. Right. Okay. Because this is table, sorry, this is the text field 2. Therefore, when user clicked on a table row, first we need to get the row ID, what is the selected row, and you have to get the table model. And thereafter, using the get model, we can get the table 1 model. Thereafter, for the text field 2, we need to set the text using the table model dot get value at the row is row ID, column is 0 because we have only one column. All right, column 0. Right, now let's check whether it works. Right now, if user click on a value, then it has to display here. See, the Jane user tested. Now we can delete. We can delete the respective one. And also let's remove the edit facility for this text field. And also we'll implement when user wants to search for a certain user. When we have multiple usernames, let's say thousands of usernames, how to do that using this search by implementing a search. Let's see how to do that. Right. That let's select this text field and then from the properties, remove the editable field, then it won't be editable. Right now the search. Now when you type something here, when you type something here, we have to do this. When you type something, then right click, select the event, key released event, key released event. Right. And again, I want you to search for SQL select query, how to search with the patterns right now. Like, read this SQL like operator, and how to if we have whatever the type, whatever the, let's say if you type a, the usernames which has a at the beginning or at the end or at the middle anywhere, I want to get that record. Then how to figure out is by reading this like operator, how to get this. I will send you the URL. How to write the URL. That means how to write the query. Read this and find out. I'll give you 2 minutes. Right. Then let's see how to do this part. Right now we need to what? When you search for a particular text. Right. Okay. Let's go to the fill table method. What we did, table fill values. Yeah, load table right now. Let's take a copy of this. Right. Then let's paste it here. Then what we want to do? Right now we need to change the query. Select from users, not from this. We need to type where. Select from users where username where username like where username like, and we need to set the string. Ah, we can't do this, no. Right. That's more change to be added. All right, we can use this card quickly. Check code from users where username like, and then we need to pass the what user has typed. Therefore, when you are getting what user has typed in the text field one, anything it could be. Therefore, if we're going to add the percentage mark at the beginning and at the end, therefore anywhere, whatever the search string we're going to search, if it is available on anywhere, wherever, at the beginning and then at the, in between, whatever, we're going to get this. Then we have to execute the prepare statement. Right. We have to execute the prepare statement. Right. Then that's it. Right. Then we're gonna get the default table model here. In the while loop, we're gonna display on expecting values. Right. Let's see how it's gonna go. Uh, right, it is not clearing, no? Therefore, we have to clear this up. See, it's gonna add up each time when I search. Now it's gonna right add the values again and again and again and again. See, right now where we have made the mistake. The query is okay. Query all set. Default table model we have taken. Right, we'll set default table model detail the set row down 0. Right, we'll see now. Okay, now why no, something is gone wrong. No. Text field one dot text known, which has to change type. What is this text field? The text field 3 dot text. This is text field 3.getText. Text field 3.getText. That's wrong. When user type anything on the text field, wherever it contains that particular value, that has to be loaded. Right. Right. Now you can see it works. Now if you type Jane, admin, right. But then when you click on that record, it would get selected here. Now, once we have to implement just the remove button. Right. Okay, we have just used the select query. Select all from users where username like and username like. So we are looking for pattern. For the pattern, we are using anything at the beginning, anything at the end, and whatever the search text that is on the text field 3.getText. Right. Okay, try this one, and thereafter it's a matter of deleting this. Okay. Now we have done database load value, search, insert, update. We haven't done update, no? That's up to you to try out the update, and then delete also we're going to do. So, right. Now what you have to do? Okay, the delete. Okay, the delete. How to do the delete? Okay, when user click on remove button, we have to delete it now. Okay, then first of all, there should be a value. Then only we can delete. Otherwise, it should give us a message. If what is the text field here? Text field 2. If JText field 2 dot set text, no, get text. JText field 2 dot get text is equals to null, or empty. Select a username. The option pane dot select any message type gonna be the option pane dot warning message is right. Two. Right. If it is null, it will display this. Right. Let's see whether it displays. Right. Is empty. Right. Now, okay. Now we need to check whether the Java text field is empty or not. Whether user has a value or not. How can we do that? How can we check whether it okay, you can't check is in the first line, so that's my bad. Equals empty. Hmm. Right. Now let's check whether running this what will happen. Select a user. Right. It will give us a one. If you select one, nothing will happen. Right. If user has selected the one, right, fine. What you have to do is else. Now we need to delete this. What you have to do is delete. All right, we'll take a copy of this. Without the triangle file. Right now, we need to get the connection, and then we need to prepare the statement to delete. Then, right, then we can write the delete query, which is how to write the delete query. Let's search W3 school delete. Delete. Delete from table name where table username blank. Right. Delete. Delete from table name where username. Exactly we have, like you don't have to worry about now. We have the exact username now. Username like. Then we need to set the string as text field 3. Text field not 3, text field 2, right? Text field 2, yes. Text field 2 dot get text. And then that's it. Execute update. We could record, you can say user record remove. User record removed. Right, and then afterwards we can clear this. But to clear, that is button number 5, J button 5. Now we can, let's see, Wills, okay, Smith, 456. Let's add user, new user added. Now, then every time when you add the user, we need to load this, right? Otherwise, it won't get loaded. Now, right. Now, therefore, in order to do this, let's check whether delete is working. And select Smith, remove. It has been removed, and then the Smith is no longer there. After deleting, also we need to call the load table method, and also after deleting this, all right. After deleting this, we need to call the method load table. And after adding a new record also, we need to call the load table method. That means after adding end user, we'll call the load table method as well. Right now, that is how you add a record and then you delete a record. Right now, this is how it looks like. Let's say Z. You have some password and you add the user. Now, okay, right. Again, there's an issue on this one. We have to fix it because the row count has not set to 0. That's why. And here, but if you search, that won't work. See? Right. and you can click on that and then you can delete. But each time when you add a user, another set of values get added. See, therefore this will keep on adding. Therefore, in order to do this, let's go back to the first. You go copy from the search query. We have set the row count as 0. Let's put that into the load table method. Then that won't happen again. Right. Right. Now see, even if you add something, it will add it and then you can remove it. Right. That is how it works now. Right. Then, okay, if you run this project, it will open from the login GUI. Supposed to open from the login GUI? No. Previously, we have set to open from the user registration. No. There, we haven't set. Therefore, go to properties and set that run the main class as the login sign in. See, right now, not this. When you click on run project, it would open the login. Initially, you have to log in using your admin username, whatever you could use, ABC123, and login. And when you click login, the correct username, it will say access granted. And then you will get this one, it will display the username. If you say manage users, then it will display this, where you can search for the users and delete the user. When you select a value from here, it will display here, and you can add new user values to the database as well. Right, now this is how you could do deal with the database. All right, please practice this. Now you can try this. When you click on the manage students, write the same thing. You can create another table with the student name, student ID, student address, age, some fields, and insert, update, delete, search. Try to do this. And then that is what I'm planning to do next day. But I'm not going to do this. You have to show me the code by next day. And thereafter, if you have any issues, then I'll be explaining that, how to do that. And we'll be starting with collections framework next week and some theory parts. And thereafter, we need to talk about the exception handling and so on. Therefore, practice this. And again, we're going to start with some theories from the next day onwards. Right. Any questions you can ask them. Please ask questions if you have any.